everyone, Jen Roque here at stampcampwithjen.com. Welcome to another Monday Facebook Live. I hope you guys all had a great weekend. We had a really busy weekend. My daughter actually just moved, and of course she needed help, so my husband, my son and I, and my father-in-law all drove up to Gainesville, which is about an hour north of us, and we went and helped her move all day yesterday. So everybody was a little tired, a little sweaty, and just ready to be home last night. So, but she's all moved in. She moved into a great neighborhood. I met her neighbors last night, and it's just really rare, it seems like, to find some new neighbors that are real friendly and outgoing. At least in my neighborhood, nobody really greeted us when we moved in, so it was really nice and refreshing when the neighbors came out and introduced themselves when we were helping her move yesterday. So I'm really excited and really hopeful that, you know, they'll stay there for a long time. I know she's sick of moving. She moves every year from rental to rental, and she's ready to just kind of put down roots. So I wanted to also share today, if you haven't checked it out yet, the last chance products are available. These are only while supplies last, so make sure that if there's anything that you're trying to get, you go and check it out as soon as possible. There's a lot of great deals, up to 75% off certain items, which I don't know if I've ever seen it that high. That's really great. So those high discount marked items, the 75% ones, usually go pretty quickly. So if there's anything that you want, I would order it now. Don't forget, if you do place an order, please use my host code. You'll get double campfire rewards, which helps you earn your $50 shopping spree twice as fast, which is always great. And then this month, my free gift, if you place at least a $50 order, is 2 of the multi-purpose liquid glue bottles. So if you don't subscribe to my newsletter yet, please do so, because I always send out details in those newsletters for sales, any updates that are happening, any Stampin' Up! News that comes out. I usually shoot it out in my newsletter group first. So if you want to get that information, be sure to sign up for that. Also, today on my blog, I will be announcing the winner of my $25 gift card for my birthday giveaway probably around noon. You'll be able, oh, hi Diana, it's good to see you. I hope you had a great weekend. Thanks for joining me today. The birthday winner will be announced at noon today on my blog, so be sure to check www.stampcampwithjen.com to see that. So, okay, so we're going to go ahead. I have a really, really cool card technique to share with you today. But before we do that, I also want to share my team. We did like a spring card swap, and I wanted to share all the cards that we swapped in that. So I think it's really cool. It'll give you some good inspiration if you're still looking for Easter or spring cards. Saturday, happy birthday, Diana. What are you doing? Anything fun? Are you going to pick out a special meal, do something fun with the kids? I love birthdays. I just think they're fantastic. And it's always great to celebrate another year, especially making it through everything that's been going on lately. So, all right, well, let me switch my camera around and clip my light on, and hopefully this time my presentation won't be sideways when you guys watch the replay. I'm trying to still figure all that out. So here, let's get my light on, and this will make it a little bit easier for you to see my projects, I think. So get this adjusted. Dinner with the grandson, daughter, and hubby. Oh, that sounds like such a good time. Togetherness is always fun. I feel like anytime you can get together and spend time with family, especially family you don't see all the time, I think that's great. Okay, so this is one of the cards I shared where we did the backgrounds with the checkered background, and I show you how to make a spring or like plaid background. This buffalo check stamp is retiring, so if you want to get this, I would recommend ordering this soon. But so this was my card swap. This was one of them. I swapped this one and then the other one that I did with the buffalo background. I don't have the other example left because I gave them all away. But so that was mine. And then Sharon from my team, she did this fun fold. I love this. with all my heart, I thank you for all the kindness and yours, using that Flowers for Every Season DSP and the Daffodil Ruched ribbon. Those two are both retiring as well. So you have a shelf for ink and ribbon. Oh, Julie, yeah. Email me, if you could, email me a picture at stampcampwithjen@gmail.com. I'd love to see the picture. And if I'm not interested, I could help you sell it too. Thanks for reaching out. I'd love to help you with that. Okay. This one was from my friend Corey on my team. She made this with that Arrange a Wreath bundle, which I believe is also retiring. And the textured background, I think it's just called texture background. A lot of the, yeah, this is really pretty, Diane. I really like this too. It's really cheerful and springy, and the Easter eggs I thought were really cute. But the Arrange a Wreath and this textile, I think it's called embossing folder. A lot of the embossing folders are retiring, so take a look at that. And I love this little insert that she put in the card. It said, "This card was made by me with love. Please peel off the sticky note and share the love by sending the card on to a friend." How cute is that? I really like that. It looks like she might have stamped it. Maybe she has a stamp made like this or printed it, but you could easily print that onto a little piece of paper and stick it in there. I thought that was so cute. I'll have to ask her where she got those. And then this is from my friend Arlene for Easter. He is not here. He has risen. Matthew 28:6. I thought that was really pretty, and it uses that Hydrangea Hill DSP in the back. And happy Easter. So that is what we did for our Easter spring card swap. So I just thought I would share that, give you some inspiration. We have a lot of fun. I try to do like monthly challenges if I can. And we just had a really good time. So if you are interested in becoming part of a team, or you know somebody who's interested in joining a team, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm always looking for people who want to get together and have a good time and be part of a great community. And I can always sit down and talk to you if you have any extra questions about being a demonstrator on my team. So, okay, so the project we're doing this morning is called a split front card. You basically take a big piece of Whisper White, or Basic White. I'm so used to saying Whisper White, but Basic White. This is, I believe, 8 by 5.5. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the Blossoms in Bloom stamp set. And we're going to use this big floral stamp right there. And I'm going to use my Stamparatus and show you how to stamp it. And then when we're done, we're going to cut it in half, and you get 2 cards at once. I love this technique. I think it's great for making a bunch of cards at once. And the little sentiment is from the, do I have it here? Yep. The Under My Umbrella stamp set, which is also retiring. The bundle and the punch are retiring, but we're going to use this Hello Sunshine right there. And we're also using the matte black dots from the mini catalog. I love those. I think they're so versatile. All right, so let me get my Stamparatus over here, and I will show you what we're doing. So I have, this stamp is a photopolymer stamp set. You are going to need a foam mat. So I have the one that has the grid, but it just makes it easier to see measurements and stuff like that, okay? So I recommend using the one with the grid if you have it. If you don't, it's not a huge deal because we're going to mark our white paper. And I'll show you how to do that in just a second. Okay, so this is, like I said, 8 inches wide. So what we need to do, I'm just going to grab a ruler and a pencil. Where'd my pencil go? Oh, here it is. Okay, so what you want to do is at the 4-inch mark on the top and the bottom, make a little pencil mark, okay? And we'll do 4 inches here. And this is just to kind of keep, give you a marker of where the center part of your paper is, because that's where we want to stamp to make that big image that we're going to cut through, okay? So now what we're going to do is I'm going to take my Stamparatus and bring it over here. Okay. So what I always like to do is I like to take the stamp set and put it under my plate so that your plate lays flat when you're stamping. It just makes it so that if you stamp, you have a flat, even surface to apply your ink to. So I'm gonna move this, let's see, maybe towards the bottom here, because we want a little bit of room, because what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this big floral stamp here, and we're not really going to use the part that just has the one flower. I'm more focused on the cluster of flowers. So keep in mind here, I'm going to put my magnet down. So keep in mind, I'll put it down at the bottom actually, where that center point is. And then I'm just going to kind of line up the top section of these two flowers right along where that mark is, okay? And then we're going to take our plate and flip it over to apply the stamp to the plate, okay? And then I'm going to use Magenta Madness. This is probably my favorite color. It was Melon Mambo. I love pinks, but hot pink especially is my favorite. So when they came out with Magenta Madness, it has more of a hot pink hue. I was so excited. This literally is my favorite color. Okay. So now we're going to flip our plate over and apply even pressure. Okay. Ink up. Stamp that image. Perfect. So now what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to flip my paper. And again, I moved my paper 2 inches down from the top to give me some room for that extra flower that we're not stamping. Okay. And that'll be, I might actually move it down just a little bit more because I don't want the flower to hit too much over the other flower. So actually it's 2 1/4 inches if you're using your Stamparatus mat that has the measurements on there. So we'll ink up our bloom stamp again. Okay. Stamp right over it. Perfect. And now you have this big cluster of flowers right in the center. And like I said, you can kind of see it right here. We have that little pencil mark at the top. And I don't even know, oh yeah, it's covered up down here. There's the little pencil mark right there. So we're just gonna cut that in the middle and we're gonna split it. And that's how you could make a bunch of cards at once. We're gonna make 2 cards at one time. So I'm gonna put, I don't need the Magenta Madness anymore, but now I'm gonna take, I have BumbleBee and Granny Apple Green. Oops. Move my Stamparatus out of the way here. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the BumbleBee, and I'm using this little, it looks like the little pollen centers for the flowers, and I'm just gonna hand stamp this little center, and this is an A block if you're curious. It's very small. It's about, what is that, like 1 1/4 all the way around. It's very small, but it's great for little pieces like this. So again, I'm just gonna stamp these centers in the middle of the flower. It doesn't have to be perfect. Honestly, that's one of the things I really love about this stamp set is the fact that it's, I mean, it's got like this really cool watercolor vibe to it, but then also you don't have to be perfect with everything when you stamp it. I really like that. All right, so we've got our centers, and then we're gonna take our Granny Apple Green, and I'm taking the leaf here, and I'm just gonna kind of fill in some of the sides and give it a little bit more dimension, I guess. So, and we'll do some in the center too here. I'll do one there, and maybe one here, and one here. Maybe I'll do one down in the middle here. Well, I don't know. Maybe one up here. Okay, that's good. And then last, I'm just gonna go ahead and while I'm stamping, I have my Hello Sunshine. This is, what size? This is a B block. This is a little bit bigger than the D. But I'm just going to take my Tuxedo Black Memento ink and I'm going to ink it up and stamp on both sides here. Perfect. And now the magic happens. I'm going to take my paper trimmer out, and all we need to do is line it up at the 4-inch mark here and cut. And you have 2 card fronts. Isn't that awesome? I love that so much. All right, so we'll put our card together. We're almost done. So now I have 2 basic black cards bases. All I did was I took an 8.5 by 11-inch piece of cardstock, and on the 11-inch side I cut down the middle at 5.5 inches, and that's how you get your card bases. And you get 2 card bases out of every piece of cardstock. It's great. So really, you need, for this card, you'll need a sheet of basic black for your card base. You'll need half a sheet of Magenta Madness for our card bases, and then you'll need a sheet of basic white, and then you'll make 2 cards using that. So it's really pretty simple, and you can, I love mass producing stuff. And I say a sheet of basic white because I always cut out 2 4 by 5.25 inch pieces to put on the inside. So you'll have a piece for the inside and then the piece for the top. So you really get a full sheet. You use a full sheet for this project. So these are the inserts and that's the card front. So, and then the Magenta Madness piece is a little bit bigger. It's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And again, all these measurements will be on my blog later this afternoon when I post the replay. So you don't have to worry about writing it down or anything like that. All right, so this, we're just going to take our Stampin' Seal and adhere it to our Magenta Madness card base. And this is cut just so there's just a tiny bit peeking out. And then we will adhere this to the card front. And again, you're just going to have a slight border all the way around. And then we'll do the same with this one. I love card projects where you can mass produce things and make a bunch, especially, you know, for events like where you have to send out invitations, like a wedding or a like a graduation or a retirement party, or anything like Christmas time when you're trying to make a ton of cards. I might come up with a Christmas version of this when I come up with card ideas this year, because I just think this is fabulous for making a bunch of cards at one time. It's a really great technique. Okay, so now, and let's do our liners too. I played around a little bit earlier and tried to decorate the inside, but I wasn't really excited with anything, so I'm just leaving the liners blank on the inside. I decided not to decorate it. So there's the inside. You especially need liners when you have a basic black card base, because unless you're writing in like a chalk marker, I don't know what would show up on a black base. So you definitely need to have liners in here. So, all right. So now the last little flourish is to take our matte black dots, and we are going to, I'm just going to put these on white so you can see them. And then I like to take, I always use this thing, my take your pick tool. We're going to use the putty end, and we are just going to push against those dots, and we are just going to kind of throw some matte black dots wherever we feel we need to fill in some space. Just to, I kind of like to do it like along the flowers, just to give it a little bit of dimension. There's no real secret to placement, just whatever you think looks good. whatever feels good to you. So, because I think every one of my cards is a little different as far as where everything goes. I don't have a specific spot where they all ended up. Come on, it's sticking to my putty. And the great thing about these putty tips is too, because the putty will run out eventually, but you get refills. You order them online, so I think that's good for that one. And then I'll come over here and we'll fill in some space on this one. This putty acts up sometimes. Let's see, maybe another one there and there. I think that's good. All right. And that, oh, Christmas idea. Yes, Diana, I will definitely come up with a Christmas version. The new catalog, was it July through December catalog? I should be able to see it in May sometime. So hopefully I can get some ideas, and I will definitely come up with a Christmas version of this technique. I think it's really cool. All right, guys. Well, that is our quick and easy card technique to make multiples. You make 2 cards at one time. So this is a great way. It's really good if you use bigger stamps. You can use smaller stamps, but then you have to make like a big jumble of stamps in the middle. So I recommend if you have a big stamp, or I think my example I did before for my newsletter subscribers, use that sunflower set that has the big sunflower in the middle, and then I kind of filled it in with little sunflowers. So you could do that too, but definitely the bigger stamps work better for this one. So I hope you enjoyed this today. If you have any questions, please let me know. Again, probably around like 5 o'clock this afternoon, I'll have the replay of this video and all of the project dimensions and the supply list on my blog. And the replay will be on my blog and on my YouTube channel. So I hope you enjoy this. I hope you give it a shot and you make a bunch of cards and send them out to your friends, especially this is very springy, so just let them know that you're thinking about them. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, be safe, and I'll see you soon. Happy stamping. Bye.